What's going on, gamers? So the other day on my Twitter channel, I made it known that I thought that Bowser should be communicating with the gaming community a little bit more, right? You know, it's like, yeah, wait, did you say Bowser, the president of Nintendo? Yeah, I'd still kind of find that it's comical in a lot of ways, but I was like, yeah, he needs to communicate to people. You know what I mean? Some answers that need to be given to the gaming community. So now he's finally come out and said some things. And after reading some stuff, I have to say it's pretty much what I've expected. The only thing I can tell people is keep complaining about the 79, but people have been telling Nintendo to drop their prices permanently for how long? Did they ever listen? Not really. So I think that it's going to stay 79. And the only thing we need to worry about now, since we know that, is will it go from 449 to 500 plus because of tariffs? Because we're going to get a lot of answers about a lot of things in this video. All right, so let's get into this. Get ready, y'all. So Doug Bowser on Switch 2 game prices. And I got a whole article so we can read about it too, but let's just read this real quick. What you see right there is variable pricing. Not surprised, it started with Tears of the Kingdom. We'll look at each game, really look at the development that's gone into the game, the breadth and depth of the gameplay, if you will, the durability over time, and the repeatability of gameplay experiences. Those are all factors, and there's many more that go into consideration of what is the right price for the game. So I think you can anticipate that there will be variable pricing, and we haven't set a benchmark. Oh boy. Okay, so from reading from what he just said, there's games that are going to be 59, but most Nintendo games, which they consider premium, are going to be 69. And then there's going to be the grand premium type of game. You could say they're like Ubisoft would say quadruple A, right? Yeah, which I kind of was like, oh, okay. Yeah, if you're going to do that, please show me some quality that triple A's can't do. So, yeah, Mario's going to be 79.99. And they say they haven't set a benchmark. So, to them, when they look at it, it has the depth of gameplay, right? The durability over time and the repeatability of playing consistently. And they say, yeah, this game is going to last a whole entire generations, all 7 to 8 years. And since we know they're going to get that value, we're justifying it at $80. That's what he's saying. Hmm? Over here, according to Nintendo's Bill Trinan, somebody else, the experience, content, and value justify the $80 price tag for Mario Kart World. See what I told you? That's what I was telling people before. Mario Kart World, I think, especially as you see from the Nintendo Direct, not to give you any hints or anything, but I did read your article this morning, and I think you had mentioned that you didn't find a lot to discover when roaming around. So I say tune in into our Mario Kart Direct to see what maybe you'll be able to find out about that. And this is exactly what I mean. The way that Nintendo is seeing this, they're justifying this, and now we have this article to look at based off of their development cycle, the replay ability, and what they see. And will that mostly justify? And I'm gonna tell you guys the truth. For most of the community and the Nintendo community and Mario Kart fans, they're gonna pay the $80. Mhm. And there's also a bundle too to get it for 50. So instead of paying 4.99 plus 79, you can just get the bundle. That's what I did. Give me the bundle. You know what I mean? I've told people what I thought about the 79. I don't think they should be doing that. What they should be doing is setting the benchmark for 69.99 and outselling everyone in that bracket. Otherwise, people are going to see that as them being greedy assholes. And it's not that people don't want Nintendo's product, because this is not a question of do I want to buy your games or do I want your games? You know what I mean? Same thing. Or do I want to get your consoles? Everybody was okay with getting the hardware. So regardless, I was always getting the hardware. It's like, what am I going to do when I get the hardware, right? Well, you still have a whole Switch 1 backlog. So have a whole bunch of other games coming. Not every game's going to be that price, so you could get whatever game you want every once in a while after if you get the Mario Kart bundle. You're like, okay, I'm playing on these consoles over here, so every once in a while I'm looking over there. Okay, I know I have to get that game, so let me go ahead and buy that game. It's not like you're going to buy a new game every week, or you're getting that console to be as your main console, which that will happen to a lot of people, Just only look at that, and that's the value you see, and you're like, man, I gotta pay this for everything. I can understand people's concern for that. You know what I mean? Because that's pretty much the meat of the problem right there. But they're not gonna drop the price. I don't see it happening. Let's go down and read some more of this. Boy, okay. I sat down with Doug Bowser to get some insight. First off, Bowser noted that the other marquee title, Donkey Kong, remains at the standard retail price for premium games of 70. See, we didn't get a new Mario Kart for almost 11 years, 10 plus years, a long time. That and GTA have had ridiculous windows. And they sold so much damn copies that they're going to set new premium standards. This automatically tells me that Rockstar is doing this, y'all. They're probably going to try to charge more for everything. Like, this just tells you that this was just going to happen regardless. It's kind of annoying, to be honest with you. Um, what you see right here is variable pricing. Bowser told the Washington Post. We'll look at each game and really look at the development that's gone into the game. The breadth and depth of gameplay, if you will, the durability over time, and the repeatability of the game experiences, as we saw before. Those are all factors, and there's many more to go into the consideration of what is the right point for the game. So I think you can anticipate that there will be variable pricing, and we haven't set a benchmark. World is the follow-up to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which sold 67 million on the Switch, probably closer to 60 or 69 by now, and 8 point something on the Wii U. So combined, it sold over 75 plus million copies. And they see that as a like grand premium game that they're gonna make last, that long again, do everything they're doing. We're gonna see what happens with the direct, and that's priced at 79. That's kind of annoying. Nintendo has been an industry pioneer since the advent of the video game age in the 1980s. The Game Boy introduced the concept of handheld gaming, so popular that, yeah, who cares if she played it? Okay, let's go down a little bit more. Asked Bowser if Nintendo breaking the seal of a higher game price is part of the role of an industry leader. I think it's less about representing the industry. This is really about Nintendo deciding the right thing to do for its products or what the pricing should be for its products overall. Yeah, but what about its community that took 150 million plus Switch sales? You guys did very well. I know you're gaming only and it's what you 100% rely on, but I think you would have been fine at 69.99. Seriously, for Mario Kart. And Mario Kart should have been 50. I mean, and Donkey Kong should have been 59. Even in the previous generation, we had some variability. That's always been in the industry. Variability is always there for everything. So that's not new, but they're trying to do a higher scale of variability over everybody else. Bowser pointed to various Zelda games being priced differently. Tears of the Kingdom in 2023 was massively popular and Nintendo's first $70 game. And that opened at 10 million, which was insane. No game in history has done that as an exclusive. While the previous game from 2017 is 60. The remake of Link's Awakening is 60. Love that game. And it's an old Game Boy game. It was completely remade from the ground up with new technology, art style, and content. I think for us, that's really how we want to proceed and go forward, he said. This is what he's telling us. I can't speak for other games that might be released by other publishers or other platforms. So you see what he's saying here? He's talking to people in America because he's the president of America. Whereas the regions like in Canada, it's priced more higher, which that's always like that, right? Same thing in the UK, same thing in other world. Anything that we get, they pay more for, which is very interesting. Japan actually gets the best deal. So they'll be paying like $67 for it. They don't have to deal with the same price point as we have to over here, which is pretty interesting. Pricing has long been a point of debate in the industry as retail prices struggle to keep price with ballooning budgets for games. With new economic chaos, it's hard to tell how much video games and consoles may cost in the coming years. Oh boy. The Switch 2 was announced with the $450 price tag, which makes it the most expensive Nintendo console ever shipped. But the price is also reasonable given its capabilities and is consistent with how other PC handheld devices are priced. The first Switch remained $300, while OLED made it $350. Bowser said Nintendo remains committed to selling the first Switch console 4 years ago in our conversation, Bowser said the Switch is redefining what a console cycle can look like. Now I even wonder what is the definition of a console cycle, Bowser said. We'll continue to keep Nintendo Switch as part of the family, giving consumers a number of different entry points that they can come into the gaming universe. Currently, there are no plans to reduce the price of the older devices. This company is so funny. I swear, he said. But he leaves the door open to the possibility at more than 150 million units sold, the Switch is the third best-selling video game device of all time behind Sony's PlayStation 2 and DS. What I would say is that we'll continue to observe consumers and how they engage and enter into the platform at various levels to try to really understand what the future may look like, Bowser said. Man, Bowser really took over Nintendo, y'all. He's not dropping the price in the USA over here. We got Bowser up in the office, y'all, and the Nintendo realm. How does that, out of all dices rolled, out of all human beings on the planet, and whoever else is on Earth, of course, running the industry, um, out of everything, it's Bowser as the president. Man, can we still believe that, right? When you just think about this, a person in real life named Bowser. Oh boy, at the darkest times as Nintendo, we need to find Mario. Here's the other point. We'll have an install base, 150 plus million units. We'll probably announce more on May 8th when we have our next earnings call. So that, yeah, that's the fiscal results. We want to keep those players engaged. Not all of them may be ready to jump to Switch 2. Yeah, apparently not. The original Switch is scheduled to release additional games with several more announced just the other week. Hopefully with time and the right games, it'll be compelling for them to want to come onto the Switch too. We know there's a group of consumers that will be absolutely ready on day one to come onto the platform, he said. Despite the pricing controversy, Nintendo's 1 hour announcement last week thrilled fans across a variety of genres and interests. Yeah, we know about that. Like I said, everything to me is great. It's just people complaining about the $10 jump up. And I understand that. So yeah, we're just gonna have to keep hammering, and hopefully they do it, or most likely, when have they ever did a permanent price drop when people have been hammering them to do that? I think they just set a new bar in their world, and we're going to see who else tries to follow that. They'll succeed. They can. But I don't see other people trying it. They're just going to fail, layoffs, all that. And if they try to follow that without realizing you can't meet those standards, then I don't know what else to tell you. Uh, uh, Obviously, it's annoying that after reading this, we can peer into things and see that they're not dropping that price. To them, it's justified at 79.99. So the only thing we can hope for now is for them to do sales more than ever, temporary sales, which they've done with the Switch One. Plenty of games have went on sale. I've seen Breath of the Wild go on sale for 39.99 multiple times yearly on and off. Same thing with Mario, Odyssey, all the other games. Well, they do go on sale now, so at least we know we can see that for people in the future who probably won't be able to get the bundles that have Mario Kart in it. But they've always done Mario Kart bundles for Switch One for Black Friday, so I don't think that's going anywhere. That's always going to be there. It's more about what about the other games outside of that? When is our next $79 game, right? I would say the next mainline Mario or something like that, or next mainline Zelda. Other than that, they're gonna just do 69.99. So at least we have some insight now. We have some type of communication. We have some type of response here. Do we like it, knowing that it's gonna stay 79, which I pretty much knew. That's why I was like, I mean, y'all can complain, and the best thing that I could hope for out of that is that they'll put it back down to 69. I'd be like, good job, guys. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of complaining that changed nothing. It's just a bunch of just wham wham man babies and people complaining, and nothing happened. Nothing changed. Nothing's changing. Definitely with a company like this, like, you know what I mean. And I've told people, you know what I mean. I of course I love them the most, but I'm not going to accept the 79, and I'm not going to go for it, and I'm not going to defend it. So I've never done that. I know you got some people out here trying to call me a Nintendo fanboy, and I'm like, you know what I find funny about people like you is that, or like them, is that I defended the Xbox community for as long as I defended them, right? I did PC coverage. I did PS5 Pro versus PC coverage. I did PS5 Pro versus PlayStation 5 coverage. I've done PlayStation 5 content before all of this. Now, PlayStation 5 live streaming used to do content on PlayStation. All the firmware updates, I would cover that, give patch notes on PlayStation exclusives, like before anybody ran into me. That's how I could tell these people don't know me and that I game on a high-end gaming PC, right? And there was no Nintendo content because there was nothing to talk about when I started my channel like 13 months ago. Almost 14 now, actually. Yeah, 14 months and like a day and a half or so. And I was like, a fanboy doesn't do that. If they're like a fanatic that is in love with like a sports player or a team, they only want to represent that. That's all they care about. And they only show up for that. They can't be positive for anybody else. This is just an awesome person. So I've defended the Xbox community for 3.5, almost 4 straight months now. How could I be a Nintendo fanboy? You're retarded to me. You have to know what a fanboy actually means. It's like somebody who's very obsessive and will not reason with anything else and only like a pony. You know what I mean? That only has to look positive, and nothing else could be said positive about. Been positive about PC, been positive about PlayStation before they annoyed me, and then I went on criticizing them. I slammed the Xbox community for quite some time, years prior to this. You know what I mean? So yeah, and then now I'm talking about how I don't like this $80 price tag. You know, I see me running around telling people the $80 is okay, and I've told them the problem that I had with Nintendo is that they never drop the price. That's the problem, not necessarily. I think that's more of a problem than this. Because if you knew that they would drop the price in the future, it's not a big deal. Like Ubisoft or PlayStation, they drop their prices, and then Microsoft puts their games on the service because nobody's going to buy them. But with Nintendo, they can play that game because they're winning, and that's not justified. No, that's exactly what's happening. So yeah, all the stuff that people say about the fanboy stuff, it's like, yeah, tell me where, say something. You're just saying it just to say it, just like the people that would say grifting or Xbot, right? When I was defending it, I've been called the Xbot. I've been called a PC elitist. Then I've been told I'm not a PC gamer. I'm a fake PC gamer. I don't have that. I proved that before, right? Which I kind of find funny. And now I'm being called a Nintendo fanboy. So it's like five, six different labels here, right? Which is funny. And in a world today, when you're not representing people's interests positively and it's something they can't afford or it's something that is offending them because they don't like the price and you still want to be positive about it because you can afford it, it's no problem, though you're not agreeing with the 80, but you have no other choice. Either you get it or you don't. And I should be excited about jumping to a new platform. Like other people who've been excited coming from other platforms to try an Xbox or well, left the Xbox to go try the PlayStation and they want to have a positive experience because that's exactly how they feel. Like you need to be negative and be a negative beta femboy and be emotional and stay negative on one little measly topic all day, every day. You can't be positive about Nintendo or you're a fanboy. To me, you people are children. You are immature. And I'm going to tell you to grow up. That there's still going to be millions of people, and you're not going to be able to stop doing what they're doing. And I've already known this is why I said what I said. And they're going to get on there and they're going to have a good time. And you think that's wrong because they're having a good time in life? You really going to be hypocrites? No, that's what I'm saying. Like you people to me are phony as hell. Like, and you're very immature and you act like children. Because once you get past this right here, and not everybody is getting it for that, though that's a huge portion. But if people getting Switch One games, and Switch One games go on sale all the time and they're having a good time, and you think they shouldn't get the console because you are annoyed about this, who are you to tell them what you think they should do? Just like you don't want to get it, there's people that want to get it. It's called heads and tails on a coin. That's a duality in life. There's gonna be people that do, there's gonna be people who don't, whether you like something or not. That's not being a fanboy. That's understanding that that's exactly how it's going to happen. And if somebody wants to get that, they're not a fanboy. They just, to them, they're not looking at it as being expensive. And they just want to pay the price tag. And they've never represented them online on anything or nothing. They're not a fanboy. They just want to get it and pay the money for it. And they'll have a good time on it. They're going to have fun. If you can't accept that, then you're not a gamer to me. You think it's all about what you think the price should be justified about. And that's it. And there's nothing else. Just be negative on that all day. Yeah, I can't stand people like that. I really can't. I'm just going to tell you. They just want to sit there and bitch and complain all day. And you can't be positive about something they're not interested in. Otherwise, you're seen as some sort of label. Yeah, like I said, you are a child. Grow up. All right, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. Have a great day.